Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go.
Folks, welcome back to another episode of The Fallen Badge. Our episode today, the murder of Officer Tyler Herndon, Mount Holly Police Department, North Carolina. Officer Herndon was 25 years old. He had 2 years with the Mount Holly Police Department. Now, I believe that he was the first officer to ever die in the line of duty for that department in its entire history. Officer Herndon was just a few days away from his 26th birthday. Can't even imagine being that young and it all get taken away from you. Now, his parents were still alive. He had a sister. Grandparents were still with us, and he had a girlfriend. Now, Mount Holly's a small town, got somewhere around 17,000, 18,000 people, and it is literally a rock's throw from the big city of Charlotte, and it's not too far away from the South Carolina border. It's one of those good old typical country towns where everybody gets along and everybody's pretty well happy until they ain't. That's December 11th, 2020. There's a business over there on Beatty Drive, 313 Beatty Drive. It's the Mount Holly Car Wash. Now, it's also got an arcade attached to it. Now, about 3:30 or so, the suspect, who's seen to spend most of his time stealing stuff, well, he was stealing stuff this morning because he had broke in. It looks like he got in through that window over there on what I would call the west or southwest side of the building, but now I'm not sure. But anyways, he's inside, and he was going to have a good night if all this hadn't went to pieces on him, because now he got about $3,000. That makes you wonder if the word hadn't got out that that business keeps a lot of cash on hand. Either that or the owner doesn't make his bank drops like he should. So I don't know if the suspect was just lucky or if he knew that through inside sources that there was cash to be had. Now, the only problem with our suspect's master plan was that the owner had video surveillance inside the store. And it wasn't one of these cheap VCR systems from the old days. He had a nice system. In fact, it was so nice he could pull up the cameras on his cell phone. And that's what he did, because it alerted him that there was somebody up to no good inside his business. So he was able to actually watch the burglary in progress on his phone. So he called the Mount Holly Police Department. Now, Officer Herndon, him and one officer, resource material says they were covering the front door of the business. Now, I'm just guessing, but it looks like that would be that silver door that faces out towards the car wash, I guess. I know there's a door on the back side that faces towards that little religious ministry building that sits next door to it. I don't know if there's another door on that business or not. That's the only two I saw. But in any event, Officer Herndon and that second officer, they've got what they call the front door covered. Now, the third officer, he's got that back door. And then there's a Gastonian police officer. It's a jurisdiction, obviously, next door to Mount Holly. He's pulled over to help them, so he's going to the back. So now we got two at the front, two at the back. Now, the suspect, he comes out of the building. Now, I don't know if he actually used that back door, the one that faces towards the ministry building and the subdivision or what, or if he just climbed right back out of that window he broke into. In the event, he comes out and the police, they put the flashlights on him and tell him he's in a heap of trouble. Well, now he initially puts his hands up like he's going to surrender. And at first, officers thought the suspect was actually going to comply. But that didn't last very long, because then the suspect, he took off running. And the police got to chasing him. Now he's running through that area there, that grassy area, heading towards that subdivision. Now there's a privacy fence back there, but now it doesn't fully encompass that subdivision, so there's a lot of room to run back there. Now, for whatever reason, the suspect, who's committed a burglary, and judging from his record, he's pretty used to having those, he decides he's going to take this one step further. So he pulls out a pistol that he's got and he starts shooting at the police as he's running. Pretty well just shooting as he's running, not aiming, just throwing rounds. Well, the police, they open up on him. Now, Officer Herndon, he's hit and he goes down. And the suspect, he's hit, he goes down. So now they figure out that Officer Herndon's been hit, so they call an ambulance for him. They handcuff the suspect and they call an ambulance for him as well. Now, I didn't see any information on the ME's report, but now after Officer Herndon gets to the hospital, he dies. Don't know where he was hit. I'm going to guess upper body. Wherever he got hit, it's an area the vest didn't cover. Now the suspect, as is prone to happen, it seems like, he's just wounded. So he's treated at the hospital and he's released into custody. Now I saw some other resource material that mentioned that the suspect wasn't actually shot, wasn't hit, but he was injured in some way and he was treated at the hospital. So either way, he was still kicking. Now he was eventually indicted, charged, and pled guilty to first-degree murder. Of course, they had some other counts on him for attempted murder on the other officers and on and on and on. But in any event, he got sentenced to life, no parole, which that's probably a lot better for the family. But that sure would be a mess to have to live with. It's bad enough you daddy and mama lose their son and sister loses her brother, but if they'd have went for the death penalty, they'd have went on and on and on, and they'd had to relive his death over and over again. So this is probably better for everybody involved, I'd imagine. Keep the suspect locked up for the rest of his life, and as you can imagine, his daddy sure was upset. I read some of the interviews with him, and it's pretty sad, as you might guess. And his mama's so upset, she didn't say anything to anybody about it. Officer Tyler Avery Herndon. End of watch, December 11th, 2020.